Welcome to Someday Today.
Where someday becomes today.
We're going to show you our journey to homesteading, to our backyard and urban farming, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, we've always wanted to raise animals and have a garden and have a nicer yard, and this is the day we decided to do it. Instead of saying someday we'll have a garden,
Someday we'll have a YouTube channel.
someday we'll raise ducks,
Someday we'll clean up the yard.
someday we'll get the bees going,
Someday we will get quail.
someday we'll fix the leak under the house.
Someday we will... Running out of things to say.
You get the point. Instead of saying someday and putting off to that mythical day in the future, that's today. So come see our journey.
So this is our first garden together as a couple. My first garden like ever. We're using the square foot garden method. My husband built these nice, wonderful boxes. And then we put a mixture of vermiculite, peat moss, and compost. They're just kind of a mix of all kinds of bags. We've got my favorite tomatoes. We've got squash. We've got different types of bell peppers. We've got cayenne pepper, cucumbers, lots of cucumbers. And then we have our little herb garden down here where we've got basil, cilantro, and rosemary. I love the smell of it. Inside you can see where I was dumping eggshells. I realized that you really had to dry them first before you put them in there, but you learn as you go. These are our little signs for now that we're using to mark the garden, and hopefully later we'll come up with some better. And then right here is my husband is actually going to explain what this thing is for you.
All right, so my wife showed you her garden. This right here is a dog kennel. We had a couple of dogs and we were trying to kennel raise them. We ended up just leaving them in the backyard so they had more space. But we kept this dog kennel, and we're gonna get quail, and we're gonna try and raise quail as kind of a quail tractor. So we're gonna use this dog kennel because it's pretty stable and secure. We're obviously gonna put more like fine fencing around it, like chicken wire, or even something more fine so that possums and raccoons don't get inside of it. But we want to leave the bottom open so that they can take care of the bugs in our yard. Our part of South Texas does have fleas, so we found out that they can eat small bugs. So we're hoping that quail will eat fleas and eat the weeds, and we can harvest quail for eggs and meat. But this is going to be our little quail tractor when it's all fixed up. And when it gets fixed up, and when I build it, I'll show you guys that. And you can give me your opinion on what you think of it, or your tips if you've done quail.
So that's our garden box. You noticed our second garden box over here. We're planning on also planting that, but we're trying to get rid of fire ants that have taken over the garden from the time we filled it with dirt and everything to the time we actually decided to do something about the garden box. So go ahead and come with me and we'll talk about the rest of the backyard. Right here we have an orange tree. We have several citrus trees in our yard, which our landlord has planted. So this one actually produces oranges, I believe. We have another tree back there that we can't remember what it is. I think it's some type of citrus tree. We have a lime tree that is on the other side of the backyard. And then our couple orange trees over here, and these produce different types of oranges. One produces orange, and then the other produces yellow oranges. We have our compost box over here, and this is where we're basically just piling all of our vegetable and grass scraps. Also, the bedding from our snake. It's definitely not the most efficient way of composting, but right now we're just hoping to kind of get rid of some of our vegetable scraps and stuff without wasting anything. So we'll probably work on that some too. You can see we have an urban homestead, so our backyard is pretty good size, but definitely not the country. So this is what we have to work with, and this is the area that we're trying to make productive and clean up. And you can see all this overgrown grass. We've done a lot of work with this yard. Before, it was completely overgrown. Like this whole area, I couldn't even walk in. The grass was, you know, yay high. But we're working on getting all of this, you know, mowed and everything. If you come over here, I don't even know if you can see it from this angle. Let's see. Hopefully there's no snakes back here. But we actually have a bee box back here. And there we go. So this is also something that we're wanting to work on and get back up running. We don't really know a whole lot about bees, but that is our desire to get that up and running. This used to be a chicken coop area, and it's got a little box where the chickens used to roost. It's all fenced in, so we're planning on, you know, taking all this, getting it all cleaned out, and then kind of revamping it how we want it, especially since we're considering doing duck tractors and then quail tractors. We're not really going for the coop style as much, so we're going to try and recreate this to go with what we would like. You can see all the grass and all the branches and, you know, all the wire of things that we've cleaned out lately. And then we have our lovely 2 dogs back there who are trying to add to the video. And these guys are in the side yard for now, and hopefully soon we'll be able to finish the house skirting so they can have free reign of the backyard, so that we don't have to just keep them in the side yard, and they're anxious about that. So that's kind of a basic view of our backyard. There's a couple more things that we'll show you as we go along here and there, and but now you kind of get a general lay of the land, and you see that we're urban homesteaders who make that mythical someday that you always talk about today and do it.